We start today's part with Ash and the gang arriving at Lumio City. Ash and Serena were both admiring the prism teller. Clement and Bonnie were acting strange and insisted they should leave right away. The siblings were dragging Ash and Serena away. Ash and Serena didn't want to leave the city. They were both wondering why Clement and Bonnie were acting so strange. Just when Clement and Bonnie were able to find the exit to the city, they end up bumping into their dad. And he was happy to see them both. After a brief catch-up, the dad said he better head back to work. And your new friends should have a battle with you in the gym sometime. Both siblings were starting to panic. Ash and Serena were both furious and demanding answers. Bonnie said we might as well tell them the truth. Clement explains he was so busy inventing things he didn't really have the time to battle anyone in the gym. So I decided to make a robot for the gym, but unfortunately something went wrong with the programming, and it kicked us out of the gym. Ash and Serena promised to help Clement to get the gym back. The rest of the episode can play out the same as in canon, with Clement fixing Clembot. We move on to several days later with the group arriving in Capasa town, when they attempt to take the road to Cyllage City, but a sleeping Snorlax is blocking their path. They talk to the mayor of the town to explain the situation. The mayor tells them the only way to waken a sleeping Snorlax is with the Pokeflute, but a couple of years ago he sold it to the owner of the palace. They make their way to the palace. When they meet with the owner, Ash asked if he could have the Pokeflute, but the owner responds with, "I'm sorry, I do not have the Pokeflute anymore. I gave it to my granddaughter. And if they want the flute back, they're gonna have to convince her." They meet the princess of the castle. They ask the princess if they could have the Pokeflute, and she said absolutely not. "Why would I give it to peasants like you? There's a sleeping Snorlax blocking the road, and I need to get to that road to get to my next gym battle." "Who cares?" the princess responds with. "There's plenty of other gyms you could do anyway, so just take a different path." Then as she was talking, she noticed Pikachu and she falls in love with it instantly. "Tell you what, let's make a deal. If we have a Pokemon battle, if you win, I'll give you the flute, but if I win, Pikachu is mine." The princess sends out her Furfrou. Pikachu, not wanting to be near the princess, refuses to battle. Ash sends out Pignite instead. Ash asked if she's okay battling Pignite. She responds with, "I don't really care, I just want to battle and get this over with so I can get Pikachu." "Alright, let the battle begin. Alright, Pignite, use Flame Charge." Furfrou dodged the attack without its trainer's command. Then Furfrou was charging head on. Ash tells Pignite, "Look behind you. Now use Brick Break." Furfrou counter it with Bite. Overpowering the Brick Break, Furfrou threw Pignite hard to the ground. "Pignite, are you okay?" Pignite was able to stand back up and continue to battle. "Now Furfrou, use Charge Beam." Pignite, counter it with Flamethrower. The Flamethrower overpowered the Charge Beam and hit Furfrou. The Pokemon's fur got messy and the princess decided to forfeit the battle, and ends up giving the Pokefruit and telling the group to never come back to her palace ever again. They return to the town, and with Bonnie playing the Pokeflute, they were able to wake up Snorlax. The mayor and the townspeople were very thankful for what Ash and the gang did, and since they're capable trainers, they should all check out the Battle Chateau. Ash said that's an amazing idea and would make for a great warm-up before his gym battle. Then we move on to the next day with Ash and the gang arriving at the Battle Chateau. All events play out like normal, with Ash defeating a trainer's fledgling with Pikachu's help, earning the noble title Baron. Then after the battle, they reunite with Viola and she congratulates Ash for winning his battle, and says, "Your battling skills are still as great as ever." Ash appreciates her compliment. Then Viola introduces the group to her good friend Grant, the Cyllage City gym leader. The two get ready to have a Pokemon battle to obtain the highest rank of the Chateau, and the battle plays out exactly the same way as in canon, with Grant being able to defeat Viola Surskit with a combination of Rock Tube and Flash Cannon. Then Grant looks straight at Ash, telling him he's looking forward to battling him in the gym. Then the group says farewell to Viola and Grant. Alright guys, let's finally make our way to Cyllage City. Then we cut to a few days later with Ash and his friends arriving at Cyllage City. Ash went to the gym right away, not giving his friends a chance to catch up. The moment he got in, he realised he has to climb up before facing the gym leader. After a couple minutes of rock climbing, Ash finally made it to the top. Well done Ash, now let's go over the rules of the battle. I only can use 2 of my Pokemon and you get to use all of your Pokemon. That's in your possession. Wait, I can use all of my Pokemon, Ash said? Yes, the gym leader responds with, I want to see everything that a trainer and their Pokemon can do. And now, I want you to show me your best. Alright, Onix, let's go. So Grant is starting with Onix, huh? Well, I know the perfect Pokemon to start this battle with. Alright, Froakie, I choose you. The first part of the battle can play out the same way like in canon, with Froakie defeating Onix. Grant recalls Onix back to its Pokeball. Then Grant sends out his Tyrant. Alright Tyrant, use Treco Meteor. After one powerful blow, Froakie goes down. Ash returns Froakie back to its Pokeball. Then Ash sends out his Fletchling. Ash's Fletchling was about to attack, but at the last second, Tyrant used a devastating Dragon Tail that knocked out Fletchling instantly. Ash recalls Fletchling back to its Pokeball. Wow Grant, your Tyrant is really strong. You managed to take out Froakie and Fletchling really quick. But now, this is when the battle's gonna turn around. Alright, Pignite, I choose you. Alright, Pignite, use Brick Break. Tyrant, counter it with Crunch. Then at the last second, Ash tells Pignite to jump over Tyrant, dodging the attack and landing on its head with a Brick Break. Alright Tyrant, run! Jump and use Treco Meteor. Quick, Pignite, use Flame Charge to dodge the Treco Meteors. It was able to dodge a couple of them, but eventually it got hit, causing Pignite to fall to the ground. Oh no, Pignite, are you okay? Perfect work Tyrant, now trap Pignite with a Rock Tube. Pignite, if you can hear me, try and use Brick Break to free yourself. No matter how much effort it tried, it just couldn't break out. Well Ash, it was a good effort, but I'm afraid your Pignite is done. Just when all hope seems lost, the rock tubes blew up, and Pignite was glowing in a giant big ball, and hit Tyrant with a powerful blow. Alright, Pignite has learned Heat Clash. Okay, now since Pignite has learned Heat Crash, this match has become a lot more interesting. We must end this now. Now Tyrant, jump and use Dragon Tail. Pignite, counter it with a Flame Charge. With the attacks colliding against one another, it ends up sending both Pokemon back on the ground at the same time. Tyrant, use Crunch. Pignite, use Brick Break. The Crunch was able to overpower the Brick Break, biting Pignite's arm in the process. Sorry there Ash, but you just can't beat Tyrant's biting abilities. After all, it has got one of the strongest jaws in the world. Yeah, we'll give you that Grant, it does have a very strong jaw. But that was just a distraction from my plan. Now Pignite, use Flamethrower at point range, doing a lot of damage to Tyrant, and dropping Pignite's arm, freeing it in the process. Quite well executed there Ash, Viola was right about you. You are an excellent trainer that thinks outside of the box. Thanks for the great battle, it has been a lot of fun. Let's wrap this battle up with my favourite move. Tyrant, use Rock Tube. Pignite, use Brick Break on the Rock Tubes, destroying most of the Rock Tubes. Now Pignite, aim the rock at Tyrant's mouth. Oh no, Tyrant! Yes, way to go Pignite. Now finish this with a Fire Pledge. After the attack lands, it causes black smoke to appear, and once the smoke clears, Tyrant was knocked out. Tyrant is unable to battle, that means Pignite wins, which means the match goes to the challenger, Ash. Thank you so much Tyrant, you put up a great fight today, now you deserve a lot of rest. Pignite ran up to Ash and celebrated with him. You were really awesome out there Pignite, I'm so proud of you. Hey Ash, that was a really great battle today. I am proud to present you with this Cliff Badge. Ash celebrated, yes, I knew all this hard work would pay off. Then the gang were planning on heading to Cyllage City for Ash's next gym battle. Grant mentions to Ash that the gym there is really strong, so you have to be in your A game, because that gym has a very different way of battling. Then Ash thanks Grant for his advice. Alright guys, let's head to Cyllage City, and this is where we're going to end things for now. So tell me, what did you think of this part? Did you enjoy Ash putting that spoiled brat princess in her place? And also, what does Grant mean by different way of battling? What can possibly have him shaken up so much that he has to tell Ash? Let me know with your thoughts in the comments down below.